So today I was thinking about triggers and how they're so hard to deal with at times, as we know. And I want you to think of a trigger as a gift. So a trigger is just there to show you what you've been believing about yourself. Let's just keep it really easy. There's a belief underneath that feeling that you're having, and we've got to figure out what the root of that is. Where did that even come from? So, to have a feeling, you first have a belief. So, examine your feelings and say, hey, why did that even show up? Why did that make me feel this way? And what must I believe is true about myself to even think this way and believe this way and feel this way? So, it all kind of goes together: thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And then we have our behaviors that stem off of that, that grow off of that. And then we have our circumstances that show up. And so every time you have a thought, it creates a chemical reaction in your brain and in your body as well. So sometimes we can even think ourselves sick. And if we can think ourselves sick, that means we can think ourselves well also. So always remember that we are thinking ourselves into our lives. We are thinking and feeling things into being. And so all it takes is I say all it takes, it really is all it takes, but you know how it is to be a human. We kind of forget that. Whenever a trigger comes up, it's like, yeah, I know all this stuff, but yeah, no, I'm forgetting it in the moment because this is like hurting me. This is making me sad. This is making me mad. So we forget. And I think that we don't actually know this information yet, that we are creating our world through our thoughts and our assumptions and our feelings and all the above. We are creating all of it. We are perceiving all of it into being. And I think we sometimes think we know that, but I think we kind of don't fully know that until we embody it. So we have to keep practicing, just keep practicing it, and then we'll become it, and we won't have as many triggers. So, and the triggers will never go away, of course, we'll always have them, but they're there to show you, what you've been thinking and what you've been assuming. What must I believe and assume is true about myself, or what have I been thinking about that would make this seem true for me, that I would feel this way and believe this way? And so it goes back to the root. You don't have to dig very deep, unless you want to, because you're only learning about you and figuring more out about yourself. So that's really exciting, because the more you know about you, the more you can align with the true you. And that's who you truly are. Because when you are who you truly are and you're being who you truly are, then you're actually living your passion and excitement at that point. And that's what we want. We want to follow our highest passion and excitement at every moment that we can. And that could mean just simply, what's the most fun thing I can do right now that excites me the most? It could just be having a cup of coffee, or reading a page in a book, or taking a walk, or calling a friend. I mean, it could be anything, or going to work even. It could be anything, but you just follow that little bit of, I have 10 things to do. Which one feels a little bit better than the other ones on this list? And you just go with that. And everything is a stepping stone. So triggers are your friends. They are a gift. They're showing you who you're being. And everything is a mirror. Everything is, it's not like you're looking at somebody and they look just like you. It's not like that. It's like, I had an experience yesterday where someone was talking about somebody else, and I said, oh, their worry is this, or their fear is this. And then I was like, wow, I have that same fear. I started thinking about it. And so it showed up just in that conversation. So what I do is, first of all, there's two things. If I am ever feeling triggered, or let's say feeling unloved, or sad, or any of those feelings, I just start talking to myself really nicely, like really nicely. Like I say to myself anything that I would want somebody else to say to me. I start saying that. Sometimes I'll even rub my shoulder or shoulders, because that can calm your nervous system down. So that's something somatic that you can do, is just rub your shoulders and tell yourself you're amazing, I love you, all the sweet things that you want to be told, tell yourself, because yourself hears yourself. So that's one thing that I love to do if I'm triggered or I'm just upset or hormonal, over 40 and hormonal women out there, hey, and men out there, learn your woman. She's got some hormonal issues. So help her out. You just give her a hug. That's all she probably needs sometimes. Just give her a hug. Or your sisters or your moms or whoever. Women, give your women in your life a hug. That's all they need sometimes to calm them down. And they don't need to be told to calm down, by the way. Just give them a hug or a tap on the shoulder. Hey, you're doing great. Something. Just off the record. On and off the record both. So there's that. And then I love to pretend like this, like everything is working out for me all the time. Everybody is working for me. The world is a dream. The world is a simulation. I love to think like that. I don't think we know anything. I mean, I don't profess to know that that's the absolute truth, but I think it might be. I really do. And so I just say this isn't real. I'm just having an experience. So why would I be having this experience? If I am creating my own experiences in my world, then why would I be shown this? And I get real curious and I start thinking about that. Like, why would I be seeing this? This must have value for me if I'm seeing it. It must have something that I can pull from it as a little gem that I could take with me. What is this? What's going on here? And then I look at it. I don't get upset by it anymore like I used to. I just look at it and I'm like, I wonder why this is here. So always ask why. What and why? What is this? Get curious. And then, I wonder why I would even be seeing this. And what does this mean about me? And what have I been thinking about dominantly? What have I been feeling dominantly that would show up? Because everything you're experiencing is what you expect. It's what you're feeling. You're literally like feeling your life into place. That is just so interesting to think about. You're almost like you're sculpting your life into place. I like to think about it like that. I'm the sculptor and I'm molding the clay into what I'm wanting and wanting to experience. And so we go back to Abraham Hicks' emotional guidance scale. And again, I'll link that below if you guys want that. It's in all of the books. You can get it online as well, but I updated it from one of their workshops. In 2020, I updated it. And then there's a children's scale that I can send you as well too, that I don't think is printed anywhere, but I just took notes from it and made my own. So if you guys want that, just sign up for my email list and I'll just send it to you. I do find this to be one of the most valuable tools we can use because we can find out, okay, what emotion am I feeling right now dominantly? Where am I at on the scale? And then, knowledge is power. It's like, if you know where you're at, then you can do something about it. You can fix it instead of wallowing like we do, and we've all been there. I totally get it. But we've got to make use of our minds. We're molding our minds into place too. So we've got to make use of that time. And instead of sitting there, like I said, wallowing and dwelling and wondering, staying in the why for a little too long, we've got to go back to the scale and say, hey, where am I at? And what can I do to feel a little bit better? And you talk yourself up the scale. And so it's really cool that all our job, like the number one job we have, is to just feel better because we're feeling our life into place. So if we're feeling our life into place and we want to be at the highest vibration possible, the highest frequency, then we want to be in love, appreciation, joy, all at the top of that scale because you can't perceive what you're not the vibration of. So if you are at the top of that scale, you're only going to perceive things that are at that level of energy. And when you connect to your heart, also, you're going to feel so much better, first of all. And second of all, you're going to see a lot of things that match that in your world. So it's just so cool when we connect to ourselves. And I really do think that it starts with self-love and not just doing the external things that we do, like self-care, the getting your nails done and getting the massages and, doing things like that. That's great for self-care. And that's things that we do to love ourselves. But it's really, how do we speak to ourselves? What do we think about ourselves? Do we value ourselves, who we are as people? And getting into that, What is your way of talking to yourself every day? And do you automatically discount yourself and not think that you're capable or things like that? It's just, we have to reprogram that from the programming that we received from other people. So you get to decide how you think and feel. And we just were not taught that as kids. I wish we would have been. And so I think we need to teach as many kids this as possible. I teach, and I'm about to teach some more kids about these things because they're so simple, yet we don't talk about them. It's crazy to me. We need to have a class, K through 12, where we talk about self-love and how to feel and how to use our feelings and use our minds instead of letting them use us. We can mold things into place versus just letting things happen, without thinking. But if we think properly, we can mold things into place a lot easier. So yeah, I think we'll end today. You know me, I could ramble. I had no plan today on what I was going to talk about as usual, So this was just a little Sunday Eve ramble before we finally watched Stranger Things, the finale, which we're days late. So this was video 224 of 365. And if you're new here and you're still here listening to my ramble, I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm doing a video every day for a year. And if this helped you at all, please share it with somebody who might benefit from it. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to. And thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. You are so loved. Remember that. So loved. Pass that on to somebody who might need to hear it. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.